All right, so this is a quick walkthrough of how a company can leverage Chrome extension capabilities, Firefox extension capabilities when they want to, inspect web traffic and take action on HTTP, HTTPS, right? It doesn't matter if it's TLS encrypted. The ability does exist to inspect web traffic without having to intercept that traffic. So this is a quick demo of how to do that. So one thing to know is that Chrome and Firefox both have an API that allow you to intercept traffic before the browser even sends traffic out. So if we come over here, we can see that there is the browser web request on before request, which means that, hey, before we even try to send the request out, let's inspect what the contents of that request is. And then there's also another API that's used that, let me find it real quickly, that is on before send request headers, which basically means, hey, before you send the headers, let's inspect the headers. So knowing that you can inspect both the request and the headers before it's sent out, you can build policies around that content. So let me show you real quickly here. So here you can see, if I go to the policy, so the way this extension works, the way I built it is when it boots up, it'll go out and it'll try to pull down the JSON policy file, and then it'll follow the instructions that that exist within that policy file. So here's the policy file, and you can see that there's a handful of different actions, right? You can block certain websites, whether it's encrypted, unencrypted. You can, do CASB functionality. So for example, if you want people only to sign in from a certain domain, you would have the ability to do that. You have the ability to block certain requests, which again is similar to CASB functionality. And then you have the ability to potentially build DLP. So I'm going to DLP rules. So I'm going to show you how these function. So the first example would be if I try to sign in via a domain that's not allowed. So I am only allowing people to sign in from Gmail. So for example, if I try to sign in from Mateo.Marquez.Conley at companydomain.com, and I try to go, I'm going to get blocked, and it's going to be, your policy only permits signing in from the Gmail domain. So let's go ahead and go back and try this again. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1248377 at gmail.com. And then I'm going to sign in. And there you can see I am signed in. Now, if I go to drive.google.com and I create a new file, new folder, document, I'm going to call it test. I'm going to say test, and we're going to save it. You can see it should now be showing up here. So you have test. So if I right click and I do share, you'll see that if I try to share with anyone, I'm going to be blocked because I'm blocking that traffic because I was able to inspect it. If I'm going to share it with someone outside of the domain, for example, Mateo.Marquez.nm@gmail.com, and I try to send, boom, I'm prevented again, and I get the notification your policy prevents you from blocking documents. In this case, I've also built a rule that looks for downloads. If I try to download, boom, I am blocked. So I'm not able to download from this domain. Let me show you where that is at. So if I come over here, let's see where, here's the anonymous sharing rule. Here's the sharing externally rule. And then I'm trying to find the download rule. Here's the downloading. You can see that Google user content /export. If it's a get, we're going to take that action of block and we're going to prevent it from doing it. Excellent. So let's go do a quick DLP test example. Again, because we inspect all of the traffic, if we go to HTTPS and I do SSN 123456789, and I try to submit, that's going to match the regex pattern, and I am going to be blocked. And that was over HTTPS. So something like this, you would need to have a team that's capable of developing and maintaining the solution. But if you have the ability to do that, this can scale because you're not having to maintain massive infrastructure. You're not having to send your traffic to a third party. All you have to do is control which browsers are allowed in your environment and force install the Chrome extensions that are needed to be successful. Thank you.